What's up, everyone? This is Iron Duque, the Iron Duque Speaks. I'm here in Hardy Dam, northern Michigan for the 4th of July weekend, and going to be walking up and down the piers as I do this Iron Duque Speaks. And today what I want to talk about, of course, the Chicago Pro is in full effect. Great show up there. Wings of Strength kicking off, great competition. Really giving muscular women an opportunity, a great stage to step foot on and compete and make some nice money and qualify for the World Championships. So that's fantastic. What I'd like to talk about today, though, is the Welsh Dragon Flex Lewis announcing that the 2018 Mr. Olympia Showdown, the 212 Showdown, will be his last. Now, assuming that Flex wins this year, which, like Phil Heath, I don't see anybody who could really topple him, then he will retire with 7 212 Showdown Olympia awards or victories, and he will set, a very high bar for whoever's going to take over. Now, one of the things that he said, first of all, he was very grateful to the IFBB Pro League. So, stand-up guy. He was also very grateful to the fans, very grateful to his fellow competitors, and in a humble but assertive way, really said that these guys, collectively, all of them, together, built a 212 like it was nobody's business. And you guys know, I have written many articles for IronMagazine.com about the 212, inspired by the 212. I have a lot of friends in the 212, and I have seen Flex Lewis be a consummate professional. I've met him at the New York Pro. I've met him at various Arnold Classics. I've met him at other competitions. He always treats the fans with an extremely high level of respect. He dresses the part, of a champion. You never see him in like jogging pants and a tank top at the night show or anything like that. He always dresses the part. He always acts the part. Very ambassadorial. The epitome of good sportsmanship. A lot of times, I think, setting a better example for bodybuilding than the Open Mr. Olympia, who is a great guy also, but whose thin skin has gotten to the point of no return. But it's also interesting because, I feel like Flex Lewis, and again, I don't want to crap on Phil Heath, but I feel that Flex Lewis, in saying, look, 7 is enough for me. I appreciate what the 212 has done for me. I appreciate what the IFBB Pro League has done for me. I'm going to take a step back in my prime. Without any injuries, I'm going to have the luxury of announcing my last competition, and I'm going to get on stage, and I'm going to get off stage when I say that I want to. Not because of circumstance, but because I want to, because I want to make this special, not only for myself, for my fans, and for the sport. Because there comes a point in time when you've got a person who is so gifted, who's so good, they're unbeatable. I mean, I feel like Phil Heath is in that boat right now. I got to be honest with you. Iris Kyle, 10-time Miss Olympia. If they still had, the Miss Olympia, Iris Kyle would probably still be winning. But it's really not a position where, you have to do it. I mean, you don't have to retire in your prime. You don't have to retire when you still have more victories left. But I feel like by Flex retiring, he is going to make the division even more. The division is already extremely interesting, but I feel like he's going to make it even more so, because now all of the people who various fan demographics, whether we're talking old, young, American, international, who think can be the next 212 Mr. Olympia. Well, here's your big chance. Hadi Choopan, Eduardo Correa, here's your big chance. Now, one thing that I find sad, well, I don't know if Jose Raymond has retired. I don't know if he has or he hasn't. I get the feeling like he has semi-retired a little bit, but now would be the time to return to the game, because when Flex Lewis finally hangs him up and retires, that is a completely vacant throne right there. There's no one to defeat. It's theirs for the taking, whoever wants it. And so I think that for 2019, we might see everyone from, David Henry. We might see a new and improved Kevin English. We could see, Jose, take a run for it. We could see other people. You know what I'm thinking about? Why not? I'm not going to say it, but I mean, provided that their pro card's in good standing and that they keep their act together, why not? You know what I mean? I think it's going to be interesting. We have not had that happen. I'm trying to think in bodybuilding. I don't think in bodybuilding, Ronnie sure as hell didn't plan his retirement year. He didn't, Lee Haney, I think Lee Haney might have retired with 8. I don't think that he might have retired with 8, and maybe Lee Haney, I would think, because I don't think Lee Haney had any plans of doing the 92 and then pulled out. I know Dorian had plans of doing 98 and pulled out. But it's a good thing, guys. It's a really, really good thing. It's not a very common thing. And in his statement, he also says that he lost a little bit of direction, but he's found his way. This is a guy who doesn't just give the fans the, overly produced, high gloss, marketing type, press release. You know what I mean? This is a fan, this is a man, I was going to say, but he's also a fan. He got into bodybuilding at age 12. So he is also a fan, you know what I mean? That was not what I meant to say initially, but I'm glad that I did, because he's also a fan. See, this is not a guy who's going to hang him up and retire and then periodically, appear or reemerge at competitions. This is also a true hardcore fan of the sport of bodybuilding and fitness and the IFBB Pro League. So, we're going to probably see a lot of Flex Lewis, and I feel like this is only the beginning. This is a new chapter in his life, a new chapter in all of the many great things that he's done for the sport of bodybuilding. But man, I also got to say, it's one hell of an old school, gentlemanly, bigger picture move on his part to say, I'm going to give someone else an opportunity. I've had 7 of these. I could get 8. I could maybe get 10. If I don't have any injuries, hell, maybe I can get 12. But, it's a different mentality. Now, Phil Heath, on the other hand, is going up for 8. We'll probably get 8. We'll probably get 9. And if he isn't injury free, it's weird. I like Phil. You got to understand, I met Phil at the IronMag. Well, no, actually I didn't. I met him at a competition in Kalamazoo, Michigan, the week after he won the Ironman against Gustavo Bedell in 2007. And ever since, he's been so awesome with me. But then last year, when I picked Sean Flexitron Roden to win, all of a sudden, I got blocked, and, he won't say hello to me and this and that. So, it's upsetting. But would Flex Lewis have reacted? See, I don't see that. Look, one of the worst things you can do is compare people. It's both counterproductive and rude, but it's almost unavoidable in this particular situation, because we're talking about 2 great champions, both, basically breaking records in their respective divisions, and one happens to have, leather skin basically, and one happens to have onion skin. And you can't have onion skin in the sport of bodybuilding. You can't. Whether you're doing media, whether you're, a competitor, especially if you're an official, because officials get scrutinized left, right, and center. And, again, it's a subjective sport. And, you have to be ready to roll with the punches. But You can't be that sensitive. But again, if Phil didn't have any injuries, I don't think he would retire. Again, it goes back to what I said at the beginning. This is really a very tough move. You know what I mean? Think about it. If you have the means, if you have the tools, and if really no one is threatening your reign, why would you essentially abdicate? Like, essentially, why would you walk away from that? Why wouldn't you want to continue to make money and enjoy the fanfare and continue to grow your brand? It's a tough call. But I believe that a true champion knows when the time is right, knows when it's time to say, look, guys, I've won enough. I've made enough. I've gotten enough off of this. Let someone else have their time. Because what I have ahead of me is just as rewarding. And I really believe it. This is the closing of one chapter in Flex Lewis's career and the beginning of another one. Thanks for watching the Iron Duque Speaks, brought to you courtesy of IronMagLabs.com and MuscleGels.com. Remember to use discount code IronDuque15, save 15% off at checkout.